Welcome back to Sonic Colors. We're still going through Aquarium Park, but not too much of the game left to go. We're on Act 5? Yeah, Act 5. Still only a few stages left of Aquarium Park.
It is a little late to say this, but I really do dig the aesthetic of Aquarium Park.
Oh, it's one of my favorite visual motifs in all Sonic, I feel.
This is my favorite song of the game. We went into Aquarium Park music entirely, and this is something that didn't really change between the first commentary of Colors we did so many years ago and now, but I still think Act 2 is the better song. Because I just like the tempo of it. Like I think it just accommodates more of Sonic's aesthetic.
I think having the Act 1 and Act 2 versions of a level theme being faster or slower is actually just a nice way to distinguish them, really.
I've never seen anybody get the red ring like that. That's a very interesting way of doing it.
Well, I mean, if it works.
I would argue that this version works better because it can juxtapose itself to the original version. Like, hearing it go bida-bida-boo, bida-bida-boo really fast like that only really works the way it does because you're used to it being bida-doo-doo-doo, bida-doo-doo-doo, in that half of that.
Yeah,
tempo.
like, it is, in terms of like musical transitions, it is the most, I want to say, Sonic 3-esque, where, Act 2 was always like a different variation of the Act 1 theme, but it was still pretty much the same theme. At least you can identify it as such, and I feel that's the same with Aquarium Park. So it could be just like it tickling my nostalgia boner more than other acts, even though like other act variations in this game are also just as good. Because Ted, you were going into Planet West.
I like how
you swear by Act 1.
I like how in that
because me personally, I like Act 2 or Act 3.
I like how in that final section the laser balls only ever come down dead center on one of the three rows. So as long as you stay somewhere that's not dead center on one of the three rows, you don't have to actually try to avoid them.
Not quite.
No, can't quite get enough height. Curse you, Sonic.
Oh, well.
The fish. I think what do the fish do?
I think they keep
They give you
from
air.
drowning.
They give you air? They just breathe in your mouth?
I guess.
Gross.
For some reason, you just can't drown as long as they're around you.
God, give me a kiss. Come on, puck up, you son of a bitch.
Well, you promised you'd help them find Nemo, and god damn it, they're gonna repay that favor.
Nemo is no mo.
I mean, it's an interesting way to implement a bubble shield.
Yeah, because it also does protect you from damage for like once. So yeah, it is a bubble shield. An organic bubble shield.
It is so weird hearing the drowning
Orchestrated
music
drowning.
with like orchestral instruments and stuff. Like, I'm so used to that being like, I don't think it actually is more menacing with it being like orchestral music. I don't know.
No.
It's the kind
To
of
me,
thing.
to me, the most tense drowning theme is still the original from Sonic 1 and Sonic 2.
It sounds like the kind of thing you might expect to find in a competently done Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So,
As like a visual gag or audio reference, you mean?
yeah, like an orchestral version of the drowning theme.
It's funny you said that, Lewis. The way you said that makes me think you have a very low opinion of the Sonic movie, which we haven't talked about since it came out.
That's right.
That was this year.
Ooh, shall we?
This year.
Well, you know,
It might be up for an Oscar.
live action Sonic X certainly exists.
No.
It is not. It's not live action Sonic X.
No, you're not telling me that the Sonic movie is going for an Oscar right now, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. But that's the joke though, because like one of the
That'd be something, huh?
it's just by proxy if it actually be one of the only movies released in theaters this year, then yeah, I would fucking laugh. Like I mean, arguing whether or not it deserves anything is like that's a whole other topic. And
It did break Marvel's superhero streak.
I don't give a shit at the end of the day, but it is it is weird and depressing to think that the last movie I saw in theaters was Sonic, and that was in February.
This particular corridor with the waterfalls is one of the nicer
nice.
set pieces.
No,
yeah.
we're not getting out of this Sonic movie tangent, buddy. We're gonna talk the Sonic.
But I
movie.
want, but that's one of the. This is one of the only rooms in the game where they expect you to platform in 3D.
Yeah,
There's like
look at
this
that.
is
And
an
now-
actual secret that Ryan just
Yeah.
found. No. Okay, we're gonna talk about the Sonic movie. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Because look, now that 3D section is over. Because now you got a light speed through everything else. There you go. All right, Sonic movie. Let's go. Ryan, what'd you think about it?
It was generally good. I didn't find it super amazing, but for a kids movie, it's fine.
That seems
Yes.
to be the prevailing opinion. The unfortunate thing about that is that I don't particularly care to watch it, if that's how it is. So,
What did you want? All right, so in that case, what did you want it to be?
I don't know. Something on at least Detective Pikachu's level, maybe.
I mean, I found Detective Pikachu about the same level of quality, honestly.
Yeah, I would say they're about the same.
It's a better written version of it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
That's my impression of it.
Have you not seen it?
Mind you,
Louis?
I'm not the biggest fan of Detective Pikachu because I feel like it didn't go hard enough into the this is a Pokemon world concept, and instead was just a basic kids movie that had Pokemon standing around in the background.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just based on Pokemon, it was based on Detective Pikachu to begin with. So
yes, which I feel is not a very good game, but that's neither here nor there.
So, I'm going to go on to what Clint was saying. I'm assuming you just haven't seen the movie at all, Louis.
Not yet. I've seen
So-
bits and pieces here and there, none of it really interests me.
And you're a Sonic fan.
Sonic movie.
Goddamn.
All right, so we haven't done movie commentaries in a while. We need to stop that and just watch Sonic movie for Lewis's sake.
We'll do a double feature: Sonic movie and Ava 4 next year.
Guys are really passionate about making me watch this movie that, by your own admission, is just okay.
Listen,
I mean, a movie can have
I
additional
mean,
merits if you watch it with friends.
If we're talking about, well, that assumes that I'm a social creature, which I'm not and never have been. But
And yet you're
and
here.
you still do commentaries.
I was gonna
with
say
us.
you've been with us for almost 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if I watch a movie for the first time with friends, I just find the friends to be a distraction from the movie. That's the kind of
Watch the movie
asocial
first, and then we do
fuck I
commentary
am.
about it.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, if I was going to watch a video game movie that was just okay, I'd want it to be something that, landed a little closer to the source material, like, say, the new Tomb Raider movie based on the Tomb Raider reboots, or the Prince of Persia movie, or some shit like that. An extra large clobbering top with everything.
I mean, I never went to go see the movie just because I didn't think it looked good. That's just me. Like, I remember when the first trailer came out and everybody freaked out about the design
terrible
being
design,
bad.
yeah.
I was also like, but these jokes also aren't funny.
Right.
So
Well, I on that subject, I do have something to say, and that's one of the things that I'm glad about when they fixed the design was that it gave Sonic a more expressive range of facial motion, so that did sort of help the humor land, if that makes sense. Like,
Well, it's by proxy being able to pay attention to it instead of just being fixated on Sonic's freakish
no, I get
alien
what
design.
Lewis is saying, because the original version had the really small eyes. The eyes
Yeah.
are the big thing that I would.
It was
say.
to me. It was the eyes and the hands.
the eyes and the mouth gave him this, like, poor man's annoying orange face. And he was the annoying blueberry, and he didn't really have much range of expression, and as a result, the visual aspect of the humor that was shown in the trailers didn't really help the jokes work at all.
No.
So when they fixed his model, I watched several of the same scenes, and my thought was, the writing is still not amazing, but it's more charming now, so I can smile a little bit at it.
Good design can go a long way. Pity about all the visual effects artists not getting laid off.
'Cause,
Was Sega involved with the production of the movie at all?
Nope.
It,
Okay.
No, to my knowledge, I mean, obviously they have to approve things, but they had no say in like the creative direction. I
Okay,
believe.
so then why did they approve a Sonic that looked like that? Is my question. It's just I worry about Sega sometimes.
probably for the same reason they had the movie done in the first place, because they needed the money.
And they don't really care about the end result.
And you
It's
know,
just-
if they push too hard on something, the company can just turn around and say, you know what, this deal isn't worth it, so we're not doing it anymore.
I worry about Sega sometimes and how
It's also a
much-
matter of, depending on how the contract is worded, Sega may not have final say on certain things.
I guess that's also true. It's just they really don't care that much about quality control, do they? Considering how stuff
Of course not.
ends up, you know. Okay, well, I'm glad that we all understand that. How do we get to the next?
Are we talking?
step?
Are we talking? Are we talking Sonic specifically, or just
Well, I
in
mean,
general?
Sonic seems to be the one of the bigger issues, but it's not just that. Like, for example, the Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne port just released in Japan a couple of days ago, maybe a week or two ago, and it's bad. It's a really, really bad port of a PS2 game. It's like the frame rate is abysmal. They didn't do simple things like give you the ability to choose what skills your demons get upon fusing, which is something that they've done to every re-release of a Shin Megami Tensei or Persona game since like 2011. So
Wait, how
and
many?
there's just
How many re-releases have they done?
a lot. A lot of the DS games were re-releases or remakes of games that were on like the Saturn or the earlier on the DS. And they added the ability to like, okay, if I want my demons to have both the fire and ice spell that these other two demons had when I combine them, I can choose that. And they didn't do that for Nocturne. And there's a lot of things too, like the aspect ratio will keep on flip-flopping depending on whether or not you're in a cutscene and things like that. It's just
Oh, that's
unacceptably
if
bad.
they're actually like keeping cutscenes in 4x3, that might be because whenever a remaster doesn't do that, they always fuck up the cutscenes by having
and
things
there's
in
also-
frame
there's-
that shouldn't
it's-
be.
It's okay. Well, there's also the music. They didn't bother uncompressing the music. It's not just
How do you
one.
uncompress music?
They had uncompressed versions like on the CD, the soundtrack CD, and they didn't
Oh.
use the. So it's not just one individual thing. It's a lot of things that come together to make it like an unacceptable product for $60 in today's age. So
$60.
like, yes,
okay,
they're
I was gonna say.
yeah. It's.
I was gonna say like this
so-
just sounds like every other remaster that's ever been made, but if it's $60,
Yeah, but I mean, like,
yeah,
it's
okay.
also the year 2020 and not the year like 2012, and we have
That
higher
doesn't stop them. That
expectations.
doesn't stop anyone. When has anyone ever done good remasters?
Nocturne's on PS3 for $15.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where Sega Atlas is part of Sega now. So like Sega, just generally speaking, doesn't seem to care about quality control, which is a shame because if they did, I think they probably would end up. Sega's always been more about like wacky ideas as opposed to strictly being like polished, which is always like the difference between them and Nintendo. But
Okay, I'm gonna say this set piece here has always amused me, where we have fake asteroids and fake planets with fake planetary rings in a theme park that actually is in space.
Are they fake? I don't know. I
Well,
always
yeah,
thought they
they're
were just
they're like
part
all
of the design.
metallic and patterned to look artificial.
well, it's
Music
like
is
this
John's
isn't
cool
favorite
enough.
gimmick.
Oh, anti-gravity? Nah, yeah, absolutely hate it.
It's like in Jurassic World when they had to create a new dinosaur because people were bored of the old ones.
How the hell do you get bored of? Okay, never mind.
It was commentary on pop culture, you know. The only clever thing that Jurassic World actually did was the Super T-Rex thing.
And
in
let's be real,
Dominus.
Ted. If dinosaurs actually still roam the Earth now, that is totally something that would
I'm gonna
happen.
say, like, okay.
Well, I don't know. I think that like elephants are still cool. Like they don't have zoos making super elephants.
They do have zoos.
Aren't they trying to bring back the mastodon?
They do have zoos grappling with a decline in interest in zoos, though. You know, so it's a funny punchline to attach to a realistic problem. It would have been funnier if the writers behind Jurassic World had not been really lazy and had written main characters who weren't just every grocery store romance novel protagonist ever. But
Yeah, Chris Pratt is basically just the guy with his shirt off on a romance novel.
yeah. Chris Pratt.
Oh, he's Fabio?
Chris Pratt.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pratt is playing the sexy Navy SEAL alpha male, and I'm not even exaggerating. They talk about him being the alpha, and he was recruited out of the Navy SEALs.
Yes, but he's
and-
also caring because he cares about his dinosaurs, which shows his sensitive side.
yeah, and then
it is pretty pander.
And then on the
Also, it's a romance novel, but he's like,
and then on the
beckoning
other
to be a
hand, there's
velociraptor.
Claire, who's the independent, a career woman who needs to learn to loosen up because she's too career focused and doesn't have time for love. But there's
She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man snap.
Except
well-
that by the end of the movie, she does need a man because she needs Chris Pratt.
It's
to
like,
come
you know,
save her.
you can make good characters using these elements, but the way they were written and presented in the movie is just like a checklist of things that you might find as examples of incredibly basic romance novel tropes from like an actual how to write
no.
from like
To the abyss.
an actual how to write romance novels book. So
To be in Ryan's defense, there it did look like he was going to automatically bump into that spring.
yeah, he did
Yeah.
kind of. You have to keep your eye out for those big red reticles.
Yeah, but it only showed up with like half a second before he fell. So
Yes.
yeah. You see, you know what? This level actually is a lot more interesting than I remember it being.
Oh, this is one of my favorite levels. I love Asteroid Coaster.
Asteroid
Yeah.
Coaster did like start trying to do some interesting level design things, but it's also like really late into the game that it starts trying to do this. So
I think it also doesn't really help that Frenzy I find is one of the most uninteresting power-ups in the game. Oh,
you're just not gonna bother trying to platform up that, right? You go all the way back and get Frenzy again, so that you.
Frenzy,
It's
mad.
faster.
It would have been quicker to just jump on the platform and then jump
Would it?
over. You can jump high enough to get onto those test tubes and just drop down onto the bouncy pad. Okay. Well. Oh, yeah.
Upside down.
I also love how, since we're apparently in a worse place than Crash Bandicoot was 20 goddamn years ago, that instead of having that instead of having an actual Z-axis to get pushed off of, the pushy things just have a hitbox, and if you hit the hitbox while it's red, it's an instant death.
the thing that bothers me in this level is that it's not clear when the gravity shifts or
Well, yeah, there's no fucking visual sign of it happening. It just happens.
Yeah, you kind of have
'Cause-
to just keep an eye on what the level design looks like and try to guess at it.
Which is not easy
well,
to
like
do when
right
everything
there,
is a square.
Dead.
the checkpoint was on the ground, and yeah, and it's like, well, why couldn't I hit the checkpoint there? And
I
like
like-
there, it looked like Ryan should have gone into a secret or further into the level, and then
Yeah,
he just died.
the fact that you were able to
Like, why did Ryan switch here? There's nothing about this part of the level that makes it so like, okay, why did Ryan switch gravity at that
the
point?
rings are there to indicate that that's where the gravity is going to switch you because it's too high to jump.
I think that they could have done better. Especially
Mario
for-
Galaxy did it so much better.
Yeah, Mario
Yeah.
Galaxy, it is clear when and where you are going to swap gravity in that game. And when it, especially I'd say in a game like Sonic where you need to make snap decisions, like it should be very clear when and where you're going to do it.
Actually, really proud of us, guys. That was like 6 parts in. We finally mentioned Super Mario Galaxy.
We brought it up earlier when we were talking about graphics. I said
Man,
Super Mario
Do
Galaxy.
we?
You know-
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I brought it up myself.
You know what
back
I
then.
like? How when Sonic Colors came out, people were comparing it to Super Mario Galaxy purely on the grounds that it happened in space. And then Sonic Lost World happened a few years later, and it's like...
And that was quite brazen. That Mario
And it's like,
Galaxy.
oh... So,
Well, it didn't help. I mean, granted, these games were probably developed at the same time because Mario Galaxy 2 also came out in 2010. But several of the power-ups in this game are very, very similar to power-ups in Mario Galaxy 2. Like, Mario Galaxy 2 also had a drill, also had a cloud that you could float on, and other stuff like that. So it was like Sonic.
I wouldn't exactly compare hover to the cloud power up, which is more of a you have a floaty jump while it's active, and you can create platforms with it. Power up.
But they're similar enough, and that's all that matters.
I mean, I'm sure Mario Galaxy influenced this. A game
Sonic
over.
moves right. Mario
You just
moves
gave
right.
no fucks during this playthrough, did you, Ryan?
It's not my fault those are insta-kills.
Yeah, but, like, how many lives are you...
No, but it's your fault that you're in front of it.
How many lives are you not bothering to collect while you're playing?
To be fair, I am trying to get through the result screens and not spend 20+ seconds on them getting the extra life every time.
Yeah, because you don't have to leave. You can get 3 every level by doing that.
It depends on your
It
rank.
doesn't really...
Yeah.
It doesn't really... doesn't really affect how much time you spend there. You just have to jump around breaking numbers on the score screen and hope you get the life before...
And do you want me to add 20+ seconds for every part of me doing that?
It doesn't add any seconds. You always automatically end the thing. The moment you...
He's talking about the recording time.
What?
Yes,
The recording time.
Yeah,
He's
because
talking about the recording time, not the level time.
Ryan always gets at least one, but you can get more by spending more time on there. But Ryan wants to not
spending more time doing what? You just break the numbers.
Yeah,
on screen.
Yeah, we're talking about the actual length of the recording, not the level itself.
Breaking more numbers means taking more time breaking those numbers.
Well, yeah, and also extending the video length. That's what he's talking about.
Huh. Doesn't the thing just automatically stop you after a set amount of time anyway?
Nope.
Yeah, it does.
Eventually, but that's
Yeah,
still
it will.
a good, that's
It'll
still a
eventually
good
stop.
minute.
Yeah. I mean, it will. You only have I think 10 seconds, 15 seconds before Sonic automatically locks into his victory animation.
Yeah, but that's still a good couple of minutes, and
Per
also
part, yeah.
Totally, cumulatively, yeah, sure. But yeah, that's what Ryan was getting at.
Look, some people play Sonic Mania and they let the score go.
Yeah, exactly. And some people have other shit to do and just hit the A button.
That's still the wildest thing about Sonic speedrunning to me is that in some of the older games, they wait in front of the goalpost to let the timer go down so that they get a slower score bonus so that they spend less time watching the score rack up. It's like
if they get to a goalpost
at
around 29 seconds, they will deliberately wait until it hits 31 so they don't get the time bonus.
It's faster.
It is.
If only you could have skipped it back then.
Yeah, I know.
It still boggles my mind that speedrunners feel obligated to count non-interactive moments as part of the game time.
Depends on
counted
the game.
if it's kind of like, look, I know you're everything against speedrunners, so I'm not going to bother wasting my breath with you. But still, if it's clocked in real time, shit like that.
There's a
matters.
timer that tells you exactly how much actual interactive game time you spend playing the
RTS
game.
is total time, not in game.
Regardless, we will finish off Sonic Colors in the next part.